Hello, viewers. Welcome to Wednesday Verbal Vocabulary Challenge. I'm your mentor and guide, Brinda, and I'm back with another set of fantastic words for you, this time in sets of three. Now, let's take a look at the first set of words. So, this one is credible, incredible, and credulous. Let's understand the meanings. Now, credible is something or anything that's either believable or trustworthy or acceptable. So it could be a person, it could be an idea, it could be a story. So anything that's believable is credible. For example, they see the new teacher as a credible source of information. The next sentence in the list is the members of the jury did not find the testimony credible, so they disregarded it. That means they could not find the theory or the testimony believable, so they disregarded the theory. Now let's take a look at the next word, that is incredible. Now, incredible is unbelievable or something that's difficult to believe, not because it's bad, but because it's too good to be true. For example, incredible India. Now, India is all about unity in diversity, and that doesn't happen, say, any other place than India, right? So that's why we say incredible India, unbelievable India. Or maybe the book told an incredible story of survival. So, I mean, the story that the book had to offer was so good that we found it difficult to believe. It was an incredible story of survival. The next word in the list is credulous. It's a good word. It simply means somebody who's gullible, somebody who's too ready to believe whatever is told to him. Now, sometimes most of us are, say, credulous enough to believe whatever is being told to us. So, if we do that, we are credulous, we are gullible. Now, if you've understood this, let's take a look at this exercise. Let's do this together and see where we stand. So, Dash, as it may seem, he's had no formal training as an artist. So, is it credible, incredible, or credulous? Now, look at the structure of the sentence. It says, Dash, as it may seem. So, is it believable as it may seem? Is it unbelievable as it may seem that he had? So, probably he's a very good artist, but we are saying, can you believe this? He's got no formal training. So, what message does the word convey, the sentence convey? So the right answer here should be credible, incredible, or credulous. Yes, you've got it right. The answer here would be incredible, unbelievable as it may seem, or incredible as it may seem. He's got no formal training as an artist. Compulsive liars are usually dash because they're so well practiced at lying. So just think about it. Somebody who's practiced lying, somebody who lies all the time, they become so good at it that when they're lying to you, you can't tell whether the person is telling the truth or if he's lying. So their lies are believable, right? So compulsive liars are usually dash, so they are believable because they are pro at lying. So is it credible, incredible, or credulous? Absolutely right. This would be credible. Their lies are believable. Their lies become credible. Some people are so dash that they believe everything. Well, if somebody is ready to believe everything that's told to him, he's no one but a credulous person, right? Okay, now let's take a look at the next set of words. This one is moral, amoral, and immoral. Now, they all sound similar because they revolve around the word moral, but each has a different meaning. Now, moral simply means something that has to do with the being virtuous or righteous. That is, say, the difference between right and wrong. So, a person with a good moral behavior would know the difference between the right and the wrong behavior, but this one would choose to go with the right behavior. So every story has a moral to offer, or maybe every Panchatantra story has a moral to offer. The next word here in the list is amoral. Now, amoral is the lack of sense here, the lack of, say, understanding whether the thing is right or wrong. So I'm naive. I don't understand whether the thing is right or wrong. I mean, think of a child, think of a fish. I mean, a fish can only think of eating. It doesn't understand right and wrong. Or maybe a little child doesn't understand right and wrong. If he wants to eat, he wants to eat. If he wants a toy, he wants a toy. So there's no sense of understanding whether something is right or wrong. So lack of moral sense is amoral. During the crisis, many people become amoral and forget the difference between right and wrong because they just have to survive. There, the difference between the right and the wrong is, say, it vanishes because the question here is only survival and nothing else. And the next word in the list is immoral. Now, immoral is I know the difference between right and wrong, but I choose to do what I find, say, what suits me more, whether right or wrong. That's immoral. So it's unethical, it's unprincipled, and it's not conforming to the accepted standards of morality. So I choose the wrong because I like it. Maybe it suits me more. Now, murder is an immoral act against humanity. Now, let's take a look at some questions based on this to see how far we've reached or whether we have understood the meaning of all the three words or not. So this one is Andy grew up to be an dash man because he was never told the difference between right and wrong. So is it moral, amoral, or immoral? So if you do not understand the difference between right and wrong at any age, is it immoral, moral, or amoral? Absolutely right. That would be amoral. So there's no, you don't understand right, wrong. Dash, it is dash to rob. Well, if you're robbing somebody, say, you know that you're doing this and you're doing it on purpose. So you understand the difference between right and wrong. You know that you're doing the wrong thing, but you're doing it because it suits you. So is it moral, amoral, or immoral? Absolutely right. That would be immoral. Now let's take a look at the next set of words. All right, so let's take a look at the next set of words, and these are facetious, factious, or fatuous. They sound difficult, right? But they aren't. Trust me. Let's take a look at them together. So facetious is flippant. Now, if somebody treats a serious issue with deliberately inappropriate humor, the person is being facetious. That means you're not giving the due regard that the serious matter deserves. So you are kind of making fun of something when you don't intend to, but you are. So Tom thinks he's being funny, but he's only being facetious and rude. Or maybe she was a facetious person intending to be amusing. So here we are not showing the seriousness that the matter deserves, and we're just trying to be amusing here. Now, the next word, factious. Now, factious is anything that causes disagreement, anything that brings out, say, differences in people. Now, while Jeff hoped his idea would bring the church members together, his plan was factious and it split the church in half. So it brought about disagreement in the people. The last word is factuous. Fatuous. Now, fatuous is anything that's either silly or pointless or maybe foolish. Now, let's say the officer was left speechless by this fatuous remark, or maybe going ahead and buying something expensive without looking at the pros and cons can be fatuous. Now, if you've understood this, let's take a look at this exercise. So, this one is he first of all required them to banish him from their house as being a dash and rebellious person. Now, who's rebellious? Rebellious is something who doesn't conform to the norm, somebody who disagrees. Now, if somebody who doesn't conform to the norm, is he fatuous? That is silly. Is he factuous? That is bringing in disagreement, or facetious? That is not taking, say, things seriously. Is flippant? Well, you've got it right. This one would be factious, anything that brings in disagreement, and that is why there is a rebellion. I don't agree, that is why I rebel. Okay. They realized then what a silly dash thing it was to do, going out and troubling others. So if something is silly, is it fatuous, is it factious, or is it facetious? Yes, you got it right. It's factious, that is, say, foolish. Okay, so you're going out and you're troubling others, that's silly. If you're going to be dash, really pour on the sarcasm so that hardly anyone could mistake your tone. So if you're being sarcastic, what are you doing? You're trying to be flippant, right? So you are facetious, okay? Now let's take a look at the last set of words in this session, which is eminent, imminent, and eminent. Again, they sound similar, right? But they are different. And let's take a look at the meaning now. Now, eminent is anybody who's distinguished, who's illustrious. So she invited some eminent actors to her party. Now, see who are eminent actors. They are distinguished in their field. The next word is eminent. Now, eminent is something that's impending, something that's waiting to happen. For example, say a disaster waiting to happen. So, what will happen if you don't study? Naturally you won't get good marks. So the result will be eminent. I mean, a bad result will be eminent if a student doesn't study. So if the farm does not find a way to make money, the foreclosure, that is closing it forever, is eminent. So if you do not take care of things, sometimes bad things are eminent. So they are something that is, say, that will happen. And the last word in this set of words is eminent. Now, eminent is something that's all pervasive, that's present everywhere, or maybe something that's inherent, that is in us, that makes us us. So, evil is eminent in human deeds. But then, if evil is eminent in human deeds, God is also eminent in this world. Or maybe ambition is eminent in human nature. Now, let's see if you've understood the meaning of these words. Let's take a look at the exercise. A dash and dash disaster is brewing if the pitcher cannot strike out the next three batters. So, let's say if there is a disaster that's waiting to happen, is it imminent? Is it eminent? Or is it eminent? Yes, it would be eminent, something that's impending, waiting to happen. Many people believe that an alien invasion is, well, is it eminent, or eminent? Well, see, eminent is something that's pervasive. So, is the alien invasion pervasive or inherent? No, not even close. Is it eminent? Is it, say, distinguished, illustrious? No. It's something that can happen, that is waiting to happen. Now, some people think, okay, next few years, some aliens will definitely come and they'll attack us. Maybe these people watch a lot of Hollywood movies, but then the answer is right, it would be eminent. Her dash meddling forced him to stumble on the path of righteousness. So she did something and forced him to stumble on the path of righteousness. So was she imminent? Was she eminent, or was she eminent? It was her eminent meddling that forced him to stumble on the path of righteousness. And that brings me to the end of this session. I will be back with more of such videos to help you improve your vocabulary. And if you have any comments, any suggestions, do feel free to write them in the comment section below. We love to hear from you. Take care. Bye bye.